Radio Network. High definition digital radio broadcasting from the city to the world. www.cityworldradio.com.
Chirp about it. Yeah. I wanna know what's on your mind. Yeah, I chirp about it. Woo. Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I'll break it down now.
Oh yeah. Chirp about it is. Good evening, New York City. Greetings to the world. You're tuned in to Chirp About It Live, and I am your host, Pat Sainville. We're broadcasting on the City World Radio Network in the great city of Manhattan, folks. Great city. And, of course, that great intro you just heard was Mr. Ian Bamberger.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, sit tight. We're going to have a lovely show for you tonight. In fact, we have two guests coming on in just a little bit. We're going to hear a lot of this word aqua, so sit tight for that. Ian, what a great intro, huh?
Oh, it's a great intro. And it's to really ramp up the fans.
I love it. Everyone loves that. It keeps you bopping. It's like,
keeps you bopping.
Yeah. All right. Also, folks, if you'd like to call in with your New York moments, thoughts, or opinions, call 646-690-2976. 646-690-2976. Please call in to chirp about your New York moments, thoughts, or observations. We'd love to hear from you, especially this city. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of observation, I got to tell you. So we're going to be chirping quite a bit about what's happening in this great city, this weird city, I should say, in a way. We have a lot of weird people walking around.
What makes you say that?
So we're going to speak about mental health today.
Okay.
Because, there's a lot going on with just everyone,
Yeah.
So, first off, I'd just like to say my prayers and, again, my condolences to the family and the people who lost, the 50 people who lost their lives last Friday through this, while they were worshiping
just
at a
going
mosque.
to their own service.
Yeah.
And
gunned
down.
This guy just gunned, these people down out of nowhere.
Do we know the name of this man yet?
No, they refuse to release, or they're not releasing it right now because they don't want this man to be worshipped by other evil people and so on. There's something going on about that. So they're not disclosing his name right now at the time. Well, whatever he is, he's an animal, no question about it.
Animal. Ugh.
Oh my God, how could you do something? And then he had the nerve to live stream it. On Facebook.
Yeah.
In fact, now Facebook has been getting some heat, and from what I understand, yesterday. Or over the weekend, this past weekend, they took down, I think, 150 videos
of that attack,
of that attack and similar ones like it.
So Facebook is now a part of these acts in history because never before could people live stream what they do and then put it up on a platform that could reach millions of people.
Yeah.
In a moment.
I actually think that because of that, I think it entices these wackos.
I agree.
To kind of like they become like this celebrity, for their other sick people like them. I think like, wow, that's cool. I mean, who can sit there and watch these horrific crimes, these acts happening? I couldn't do it. How could I go on to Facebook or YouTube and watch? I mean,
it's a perverse action, but some people watch it.
It's really insane.
Why do we watch? Why do we watch fighting? Right? People sometimes, you watch UFC or something. It's violence, but this it's a different level.
Yeah.
What he did is commit a massacre. It's
bad.
It's bad.
So again, my prayers and my condolences go out to the 50 lives that were taken and poor families. Out of nowhere, it's just these things happen. So, I always say you just never know, Ian. You just never know.
No.
So that's why I would like to speak about mental health. Okay, there's some numbers here. In fact, it's on the rise in New York City. People with mental health issues.
Okay,
it's on the rise. In fact, from 2015. NYPD reports people having mental breakdowns little over 150,000. Well, a little over 150,000. That's back in 2015.
In 1 year?
Reported.
So,
yes.
like, someone calls up the cops, like, hey, I'm having a mental breakdown, or someone else calls up the cops?
Yeah,
saying
or
that?
someone, maybe a family member or a friend calling the cops and so on.
150,000 in 1 year?
In 1 year. Hold on. Here's the kicker. 2018, 180, a little over 180,000.
Wait, that's many, like, calls a day over mental health issues.
Yes.
The NYPD has to deal with that?
So that's what I'm saying. There's a huge mental health issue, and it's on the climb.
I'm about to give you how many in 1 day that is.
Hello, Jules. Beautiful.
Well, hello there.
What's up,
Good
Jules?
Hey, how
Look
you
at her,
doing?
huh?
That's 493.
Well, you haven't missed
calls.
much, Jewel. We just got started. So,
Excellent.
folks, we have Miss Jewel here in the studio with us. Miss Aqua Lady.
Our
Look at that little
emotional
flamingo.
support, gender neutral flamingo.
Nice.
Well,
Flamingo.
Jewel, we're actually talking about mental health issues here in
Sure, very relevant, and it
New
resonates
York.
with me too.
It's 493 calls a day.
493 calls a day, and that's just last year. It's on the rise. I mean, let's see what happens this year,
now.
2019. For homeless folks, struggling with mental health, in 2015, 9,800 reports. 2015, 2018, close to 13,000 reports.
Wow.
All right, that's
Of
crazy.
homelessness?
Of homeless people. In New York, the reports. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah.
But what's going on? What is it? What do you think it is?
It's a big city, and then some people fall through the cracks. Let's say, like, if you have, like, a mental illness and you need medication, and you don't get any welfare to get that medication or any insurance for it, what are you going to do?
Well, that's
What
one
do you do?
of that's
You're
one
stuck
way.
on the street.
Yeah, that's one way of
May
causing
I
it.
chime in here?
You better be chirping
Chirp,
about
chirpy,
it.
chirpy.
Of course,
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
you're here
Aqua
for.
chirp.
Aqua chirp.
That was Aqua, yeah. I really think that it's a lack of resources. Do you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? That there's
100%.
not adequate resources available to folks, and it's not just in public domains and places, but also, in like jails and other facilities like that, and ultimately, some of these people, when you don't have these things available to you, it's like, what do they do as coping mechanisms? Sometimes that translates and kind of shifts into other things, like how they act out and whatnot. But anyway, that's just my
That's your
4
chirp.
cents.
That's your 4 cents. Yeah. Well,
Opposites.
you talk about that. I mean, again, Charlene McCrae, who's first lady of the city, the mayor's wife, she's in charge of a program called Thrive NYC. And again, she's getting some heat because the program started back in 2015. The budget was $850 million.
Holy.
That's a lot of dollars, U.S. dollars.
And where does that money go? That's the
But
question.
the problem is, it started in 2015, and the mental illness cases are just mounting. They're just increasing. So that's kind of strange to me. But it is what it is. So that's that. It's crazy. There's a lot of crazies walking around. I want to talk about subway groping now. That's also on the rise.
What the...
And
Yeah,
These
it's
things,
definitely
this stuff bothers me.
It's
you know?
disturbing
It
for
is
anyone to
disturbing.
be violated.
It
You know
is-
what I'm saying?
It is disturbing. Subway groping is on the rise, and you know what? We have politicians now who are looking to ban these a-holes from riding the subway, and I think that's the best idea ever.
Wait, how do you designate who is a groper and then ban them?
Well,
need
you know
to
what? Put
is there
their
a list
pictures
of
up.
gropers?
I don't know. Give them
It
bracelets.
should be public
you know,
information and
sure.
aqua knowledge.
Of course. I mean, these guys are like pedophiles entering schools.
They're predators.
Of course, they're predators. So why not ban
so the
these
same kind of
a-holes?
list. Well, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
I think it's a great idea.
I thought there was a list for people who are sexual harassers.
Yeah, but these
No.
guys, they come out. There's one offender.
Guys and gals.
Guys and gals.
Let's
Yes.
Guys and-
be very clear on this. Do you know what I'm saying? I think
Well, guys
sometimes
and girls. You're right.
it's and we'll maybe talk about this at a later
No,
point in
let's
time.
do it
But
now.
there's just something to dovetail off of this. There's an issue, I think, fundamentally also in corporate America and men in positions of power abusing that, and what we've seen in Hollywood and just in general. it also happens to men. There's women as well that are in positions of power and authority that abuse that. And
Right.
I think that I have personal friends that I've known, and these men are embarrassed by it. They don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to talk about that. Like that's, no, but they've been propositioned for sexual favors to, move on within an organization, land a larger account, or get more responsibility and promotion.
Harvey Weinstein 101.
But it's my whole point is I
Fucked
think
up.
it's like this. I don't say it's a double-edged sword, but it's sort of like men are embarrassed to admit if they have been subjected to something like this, and I think that we need to increase awareness around this and have conversations. Do you know what I'm saying? And bring this to light. It's like it's what we're seeing in the media.
Yeah.
Is men in positions of power. There's women
Right.
in positions of power doing the same thing. In any event, I digress, but I wanted to kind of bring that chirp about that.
Let
Let
that
that marinate.
Let that marinate. But do you want to say
Just
something?
without
Yeah.
stepping on too many toes, the Me Too movement has not taken down any females in the power. But I guess it's directed towards like this patriarchal system of abuse within positions of power, which I 100%, a million percent agree with.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree with you as well.
Yeah, take down.
I agree. So that's that. Again, let's take the power away from these guys, and the power they have is entering, being allowed to walk, ride the subways with innocent New Yorkers, and it's just not allowed. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I read about a guy who was preying on a 12-year-old. He tried to kiss him, and he's groping the young kid who's coming home from school.
Where
the hell is going on here?
Where was this?
This is about 2 weeks ago. I read about it. Did you hear about that? Yeah, please introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Andrew.
Andrew, welcome to Chirp
up,
About It
Andrew?
Live. Don't be a
Andrew's
stranger.
an
You're here to
aqua
chirp about
amazing
it.
man who I just met on St. Patty's Day with my Patrick. Who's basically
Luck
a
of the
surrogate.
Irish.
What? Yeah,
Luck of
father
the
/
Irish.
grandfather to me, and he comes into the city quite frequently and attends a lot of these senior adult living communities that provide subsidized housing and meals. 50 cents for this. There's events. There's dancing. There's singing. There's poetry. There's
Well, chirp
qigong.
about yourself. Tell us about
Yeah,
yourself.
tell us.
Huh?
He's fascinating.
Well, without a big head or being an egoist, I'm very well educated and experienced. Going directly to the topic that you all was talking about, I have 5 college degrees, one a MPS.
No big deal.
Masters of Professional Studies from New York Theological Seminary. Bachelor's of Social Science, Bachelor's in Business Administration, a paralegal degree, and other associates. I've worked with all types of people, hard case counseling of mostly low-income youth, veterans of Vietnam War.
A lot of PTSD.
Yeah, and people, who need help.
Right, people
I'm
who
here
need
to
help.
One thing I'd like to comment on that the brother said was about the sexual predators in the subway. Without naming any names, there are certain political people who feel that, I guess, homelessness is A-OK. And they don't take any consideration, like the first brother was saying, about the mental health of these people. I think there are only 3 types of homeless people as a subcategory, 3 types of every people in the world: those who want to help themselves, those who don't, and those who are mentally ill.
Right.
May
They
I
don't
chirp
want-
in again
Those who
here,
can't
my
help
man?
themselves.
So I want all of you folks out there in the Aquaverse to listen up, Buttercups, because we are the only species on the planet Earth, okay, that have the ability to feel sorry for ourselves. Okay, think about
Right.
that. It's a switch. You can flip it on or you can flip it off. You could say, hey, I'm the victim, woe is me, okay? Or, like you're just saying, the latter category.
Right.
I mean, this is Aqua Real Talk, right? Like
Exactly.
Aqua Facts, we're dropping the Aqua
Right,
Truth.
right.
And hurt people. And if we can become part of the solution, educating people about mental illness and awareness. I was just on the subway and there's an ad, and I meant to take a photo, but then, that thing called life happens and I get sidetracked with my ADD. But Michael Phelps, world famous Olympic swimmer who's phenomenal, and I was a swimmer my entire life. He's like a hero, right? What he's accomplished. There's a sign, mental health. I got help and it saved my life. Like, the people need to start feeling comfortable and confident telling their story.
That's
and that,
right.
We didn't choose this, but if we have the self-awareness to recognize that we can do something to change that, our behaviors, our patterns, to somehow regulate and seek the tools, the resources, the guidance, the information that's out there. It's been so just cliche. You don't talk about it. You know, it's like there's something wrong with you.
Right.
We have
You
to
walk
talk
down
about
the
it.
street and ignore
We
the
have
homeless.
to
But
chirp about it. That's what we have to do.
Yeah,
We need to get
definitely.
more people
Yeah.
on this show to
the powers that be must.
yeah.
That's the ball in their court.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
None of us
Aqua,
can
amen.
go and pick up homeless people and bring them to Bellevue,
Right.
or some other mental health facility. I don't think any of us are dumb enough to think that they don't know, but it's like Jane Jacobs said in one of her books, if you can palpably, intentionally ignore it, then it doesn't exist.
It doesn't
It's
exist.
the ostrich principle.
Absolutely.
It's
Look
not
the other
gonna
way.
hurt
That's
me.
always that's
Exactly.
another approach.
That's
It's
it.
a tactic
You're
of
absolutely right. All right, I'm going to hit on one more topic, and then we'll do what we do best. Ian, what do you say?
Oh, we're gonna
Just
chirp
a little
about
bit?
it after. But
All
this
right. Also, folks, these are
interesting
real hot
combo.
topics, so please call in with your chirps. 646-690-2976. Please call in
Yes.
and chirp about it. Help,
Get involved.
Get involved. Help join the
Dialogue,
conversation.
collaborate, aquanate.
Speaking of
Communicate.
needing help,
Most definitely.
teachers nowadays need help. You know, the teachers are being cursed at, being abused by students. You know, I read something in the paper the other day. As a teacher, she calls herself Teacher X. Okay,
Lovely. This
and
is
she
like
says, my students know they're in charge. Says Teacher X. Okay,
That they
in
wear
my
the
school,
pants.
law and order has gone out of the window. Students smoke weed, grab fellow students' breast, and throw chairs at teachers.
that's disturbing.
All right, this teacher says she asked the student to get off the phone, and the student told her to shut the fuck up. Call my parents.
Right.
Because my parents will back me up. What's up with that now?
Entitlement. Welcome to America.
I mean-
I'm curious what school it was. Like, where was the school?
Uh-huh.
What difference does it make?
Right, well, I was about to... Right,
doesn't-
it's happening across the board.
I don't. Sometimes it does make a difference. I don't know. Some school. I think there's an issue with funding and resources put towards schools.
Right,
I'm not saying there's a lack of quality of teachers,
right.
but also a teacher
Mm-hmm.
should be able to handle their classroom.
Yeah, but it's
So-
the laws, though. There's a lot happening, you know, with these cell phones and...
If a child can call 911 and their parent,
Yeah, right.
what
So-
happens?
so the
a lot of
teachers-
that stuff begins at home.
Right.
Primary
100%.
socialization.
I agree with that
100%.
wholeheartedly.
100%.
School, church,
Values.
A lot of
Do
church
you know what I'm
has been
saying?
Cut out,
Mm-hmm.
and because parents, you ever heard of the spoiled brat syndrome? Okay.
What are you talking about,
So,
Willis?
you know, the spoiled brat goes to school, and the teacher has to keep their hands off. Therefore, the spoiled brat does what the
What?
spoiled
Yeah.
brat wants
to do. And you know what
We don't get
happens is
repercussions.
when
You
these
know what I'm
when
saying?
these
There's
kids
no
are allowed
Whip them, a good ass whooping.
a good
Not gonna
that's
do
right.
No, I grew
Because-
up. My dad, there was a belt that came out every now and then. When
You're not
one of
old
my three
school,
brothers
so
would
I
act up, or my
understand that.
cousins,
Exactly.
they got a nice fresh smack on the dupa. That's
Yeah.
ass in
No,
Polish.
you're right, because you know if these kids are not controlled, if something doesn't happen, you know, as this teacher said, it just entices other students to feel that they can
Most
behave the same
definitely.
way. You know what? If
Yeah.
he's got, why should I be good? Why should I behave? You know, why should I come to school and you know walk in a straight line if their other kids are getting away with it?
Exactly. Yeah,
You
that's
know?
one. Even if you're good,
Setting
you
up- that's the
might
other
even
thing.
gravitate towards, hey, this is the quote-unquote norm, and therefore I'm going to follow the path. So
Right.
I understand what you're
So
saying. I
that's
agree with
that. You know, that was a good topic. So with that, I think it's about that time to do what we do best, which is liven up the show and chirp about it. That's right. All right, folks.
Yeehaw!
These comments you're about to hear are real
Cowboy.
comments from real New Yorkers, your mothers, your brothers, your sex partners, your train conductors, your whomever. Jade, give us some of that too. Ian Bamberger, would you like to kick it off?
All right, yeah, I'm going to kick it off.
All
with,
right, folks. Also, if you'd like to
first
call in
chirp
with
of the
your
week.
chirp, call 646-690-2976. Call with your New York moments, thoughts, or opinions with that Ian Bamberger. Take it away.
Is this thing on? Check, check. 1, 2. This is
Oh,
Mona, Midtown. Mona has to say this. I love New York so much that I can't stop tearing up. Hashtag I love New York City.
Oh, that's a nice chirp.
Mona, that's beautiful. That's uplifting, and
Yeah,
that's why we all
very
live here.
uplifting. You know, that's good. Thank you for that chirp, Mona. I like that chirp.
Good
You
stuff.
know, I feel that way sometimes. You know, you walk around, you look at the skylines, the taxis, the people, the culture,
people. I love
the
the people,
diversity. You know, the energy of the city. Yeah, it can bring you it's happy tears. All right, Mona,
Cheers.
thank you for that chirp. We love them. All right, with that, Jules, what do you have to chirp about? Welcome to Chirp About It Live.
All right, here we go. So, and I don't know about this penmanship here, but I think it says the woman next to me is applying essential oils to her neck, comma, and it feels both annoying and pleasantly turning me on, though. Hashtag
I like
only in
this.
NYC. Hashtag chirp about it.
Okay.
James from the beautiful People's Republic of Queens Village. I don't even know where that is.
James is watching some chick
Oh,
or
James,
dude.
sweet James.
putting
I
oil
think
on.
that you should put on your aqua cock ring and go rub one out.
You guys sell aqua cock
Every
rings?
day we should aquanate, we should hydrate, we should hibernate, get 6 or 8 hours of sleep. Oprah
Oh, yeah.
and Dr. Oz always said odd numbers are worse than even. And sexinate.
Sexinate.
Ejaculate, masturbate every day.
Wait, do you guys sell
boy.
cock rings? Aqua cock
I gotta
rings?
get one tonight for the boyfriend. My homework assignment.
Oh, all right.
Babeland for the win.
With that, what do you have to chirp about?
From
Cock ring.
Sarah
Correct.
in
Aqua
London.
cock rings. Fucking
From Sarah in London, looking out at the lights of Times Square, mesmerized. She kept asking when we could come back to explore New York again.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, you always want to come back to New York.
Girl after my own head.
Heart.
Heart, sorry. Hashtag I
Check
love
the
New York
aqua
City.
eyes.
I guess had that.
Maybe you need to put on your
Hashtag illegal big
glasses.
city, Sarah from London.
All right, Sarah. Thank you. Welcome to New York City, and please come back.
City of London.
I love yes, London, huh?
People from London.
London
town.
Coming
That
over
that
here.
that city is miserable. Can we discuss?
Never
Let's
been.
discuss.
Gloomy. Dismal. I'm like, I no wonder why everyone drinks so bloody much.
All right, Ian. Let's have one. Let's do another
Oh,
chirp, please.
yeah, we're going to keep going. I've got a few here. We're going to hit it with James from Harlem. James has to say this. It's funny how people at Penn Station can walk into you while looking right at you and act like, your fault for not stepping out of the way. That is so true.
That is so true.
And that happens all the time. And frankly, like, there's a lot of pent-up anger. You know,
Well, that's what we're talking about.
yeah.
You know, a lot of
That's-
people are
yeah.
angry. People are just, I don't understand what's going on. But it is
right?
what
But
it
you
is.
never know. You can't be pissed at the wrong person because that wrong person could be like absolutely out of their mind.
Out of their mind. That's
Or,
right.
like,
There's a
professional
lot
fighter.
of wackadoodles
a
out
lot
there.
of wackadoodles out there. We
The
need to help make a
wackadoodles do.
change. All right, Jewel, what do you have
is
to
a
chirp about?
wackadoodle zoo
We're going to do
in
one
the
more
city.
round of chirps, and then we'll
Sure
take a break.
thing. All right. Here we go, Patrick. The thing about the BQE ... I've lived in NYC since 1997, and it has never not been under construction. Hashtag sigh. I would put less sigh. And then hashtag chirp about it. Buddy, comma, Brooklyn.
All right.
So, that's funny. The double negative. Never not been under construction. You don't see that often. That's interesting.
That's a
vernacular.
special chirp right
That
there.
Oh,
So
buddy.
It's the entire
Buddy,
city's under
let's
construction.
be buddies. wait. I'm actually currently at capacity for Aqua Friends, and I'll advise you when the waiting list opens up. When and if.
We're going to hear a lot from you about this
Stay
aqua
tuned.
thing.
Yeah, perhaps. We'll
All right, what do you have to
touch
chirp
upon that.
about?
Says, note to anyone in New York City, when it's raining, wear a really good raincoat with a hood. If you must use an umbrella, watch where the F you're walking. Taylor from the East Village.
All right, Taylor, I get that. You know,
You can get an
Poke
eye
in the
poked
eye.
out.
Yeah.
You can get
There's
poked in
So
the eye.
many people. Wait, real quick. I have to just piggyback on this. I call it situational obliviosity. So
I
it's
like
this
that.
thing when people are like kind of in their own world, population one. It's like, so my buddy Artie, he kind of jokes that Artie's the one man party. Like, there's just a lot of situational obliviosity. Like they're
Right.
walking, they're on their phones, they're stepping on
yeah.
the back of your flip flops. They're literally walking into
Texting
into
into
cars.
cars.
No, and like sometimes you just have to have an aha moment with them. Be like, hello, like,
Right.
can you please
Artie.
pay attention? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The Little League
Anywho,
heads
but like
up,
especially
heads
when it's
up.
raining and they smash you in the eye, it's like,
Well, again,
be
to this-
aware,
to this
be courteous,
person's-
be aware of your surroundings.
That's right. Who's the person? Who's the chirper, by the way?
The last one was that Maria in Coney Island?
Well, whatever it is, let's take his advice. Where,
Ileana.
Taylor. All right, well, Taylor, take his advice.
Taylor East
Wear
Village.
a very good raincoat
Gender
with
neutral.
a
We don't
hood.
know if Taylor is a
Let's get
woman
rid
or
of
a
those
man or
umbrellas. There we go.
transgender.
Let's get rid of those umbrellas, huh? That's it. All right, Ian, we're going to do one more chirp, and then we'll take a break.
Sounds good to me. This
By
is
you.
Oh, thank you. This is Vicky from Buffalo, New York. And Buffalo. Very nice.
I like buffalo sauce.
Me too. It's delicious.
Aqualicious.
Okay, I got to start doing
Sunny
this.
buff.
I'd marry someone, anyone, for a walk-in closet apartment. Just want to be here, New York City.
Okay.
Chirp About It. Hashtag Aqualicious.
That was very touching.
I'd marry anyone. Just for a walking
Any
closet in New York.
human.
Any human.
Everybody wants to be here. Why not? Why not? It's the greatest city in the world, huh?
What do you mean you don't want to live in a shoebox?
We have one more chirp. Anyone wants to do one more chirp before we take a break by Mr. Ian Bamberger?
I'll go.
All right, let's do
This is
it.
Jules, the Chief Aquanating Officer of Aquanate for Life, reporting live from 108 Greenwich. Okay, let's fucking chirp about this. I just had my first encounter with a rat in NYC ever. I'm like, how is that even first? How long have you been here? A day? An hour? I feel disgusted but kind of unfazed
All
at
right.
the same time. Hashtag chirp about it. Oh, Sean. It's SEAN. Usually Sean from Ireland
Should
is like
get less
SIA. It's
time,
different,
I guess.
but from Ireland. So
From Ireland,
it's making
okay.
sense. I have a very special connection to Ireland. You know, like
Most
some of the very dearest people in my life are from Ireland, and I'm going to actually be able to go finally this like May or June. But this is interesting. So clearly, Sean from Ireland, you're in for a treat because this is going to become something that's part of your daily
hopefully
aqua life.
happens, huh?
Living your best aqua
The
life.
rat will get
Rat.
less time when he goes in front of
When he goes in, all right.
Ratons.
Do we have another chirp or is that it?
That's it.
All right, folks, that was our round of chirps. Hope you enjoyed. Please, to continue chirping, go onto my website, chirpaboutit.com, and share your New York moments, thoughts, or opinions. We'd love to hear from you. With that, we're going to take a very interesting and lovely break by Mr. Ian Bamberger.
All right, so just want to give a shout out to the people on the show, Miss Aqualicious. Hey.
Oh, hey. How you
And
doing?
Her good friend,
Andrew.
Andrew. Nice to have you on the show.
We gotta give
Thank
you
you.
like, what do you go by like on the street?
Dre.
Like, with Dre.
Dr.
Dre.
Yes.
Dre.
Yes.
Dre still.
Say yes to the dress. Aqua, yes.
Aqua, yes to Dre. Nice to have you on the show. This tune is called Be My Love. It's a little like pop country tune that I released a few months ago. I've got a gig coming up at Pianos NYC next Sunday, 7:30. It's free. Chirp About It. Keep it aqua.
Nope.
Hello. Oh, we have someone on the line. Hello, welcome to Chirp About It
Oh.
Live.
Oh gosh, you can actually hear me.
Yes, we can.
I know this voice. This is a very dear friend of mine. Oh my gosh, he's the creative aquanizing genius of Aquanate for Life.
I see. Well, welcome to Chirp About It, sir.
Please identify yourself to
Please,
said parties.
my name is Jason Flowers.
Welcome, Jason. How are you?
I am very well, ridiculously well.
Okay,
It
good.
hurts how awesome you are right now. Were you just meditating, or were you just, giving people Drakey kisses? Your little Reiki shaman healer.
Well,
What-
I'm practicing some of my new abilities recently. I figured I might just chill out, take some me time, get some nature. But then I remembered, I have to talk on Jules' little radio show. So I decided to not do that and come here instead.
I hear you.
Who's the best, Jason Flowers?
Oh, Jason Flowers. Sounds
Jason
like a
Flowers.
man.
Flores.
Tell us
love
about
that.
your abilities.
Hold on. All right, Jason, you know what? Just hold on one second. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to have you chirp about it in just a little bit. Just hang on, okay?
Sounds lovely.
All right, let's
Med-
go.
meditate,
All right, Ian, take it
Aquanate.
away.
Oh, yeah. Now, back to
Maestro.
where we were. This is Be My Love, pop country.
I love this.
Woo! Ian Bamberger, folks. Chirp About It Live. Yeah.
Love is such a crazy thing, I didn't know what it means till I met you. Long ago, you packed your bags, walked up the stairs, and looked as though you didn't care. Then I saw you. How could you know fate was waiting just across the hall? Oh yeah, I first look turned into a smile. I say, can I be with you a while? My love. Ooh, baby, be my love. Ooh. Watched the sun till it was gone. Talked all night. The break of dawn always came too soon. And if it rained, it didn't mind, 'cause we could hide inside and get to know all the dreams that we ever had. We're lying straight ahead. Our first steps turned into a smile.
Yeah.
I say, can I be with you a while? My love. Ooh, baby, be my love. Ooh. First steps turn into a mile. I say, can I be with you a while? My love. Ooh, baby, be my love. Ooh, baby, be my love.
Yeah.
That was so sweet.
Little pop country. Little Bamberger.
Ian Bamberger. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. This is Ed Lemo. Who is Ed Lemo and why should I listen? Ed Lemo is an attorney that is unique in that he gives consumers good, solid information about the law that will help protect them against irresponsible drivers, landowners, and doctors and hospitals who are negligent and cause you harm. Ed Lemo has been representing individuals against insurance companies since 1984. Ed Lemo limits his practice to accident, injury, and medical malpractice claims. You can find out more about me at my website at www.lemolaw.com. That's www.lemolaw.com, or you can reach me at 646-522-9082. So if you're injured in an accident or a victim of malpractice and you need a trial attorney who has experience in the courtroom and gets results, call Ed Lemo at 646-522-9082, or you can reach me at edwardlemo@yahoo.com. Or you can go to my website for further information, www.lemolaw.com. You'll be glad you did. Thank you.
All right, Edward Lemo, great personal injury attorney. Please check him out, Edward Lemo. All right, lemolaw.com. Also, the show is brought to you by Chirp and Chicken, so please go onto their website, chirpandchickens.com. Download their app for a huge discount, 5%. Just mention the show, Chirp About It Live. We're also brought to you by Accordia Shipping. For all of your shipping needs, please go on to accordiashipping.com. Mention the show, Chirp About It Live, for a huge shipping discount. All right, with that, Mr. Ian Bamberger, what a song, huh? So talented.
Be my love. Thank you. It's an
be
oldie.
My love. Be my love. Let's everyone everyone. Let's love each other.
Aqua love, aqua hugs.
I love
aqua
it.
Kisses, aqua sex.
All right. With that, we have the pleasure of Mr. James on the line, and we have the beautiful, lovely Jules right before me. Welcome, you both, to Chirp About It Live.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, James, are you still with us?
Jason is still with you, yes.
Okay, there we go. All
Bueller.
right.
We're going to call you James now, Jason. It's okay. He just had aqua brain.
I did.
That's okay. James is fine.
Well,
James Flowers.
I'm looking at James Flowers on
We're
the call ID.
Role playing. That's how we keep this friendship alive.
I'm actually his son.
There we go. Well, thank you for calling the show. For sure.
Got another caller coming in.
Yeah, we have another caller coming in. What we have
James
Jason
Flowers.
Curious about his abilities.
Yes.
I would like, so let me just let's take a moment here. James, this is your new pet name, James. So I met Jason. He's actually my neighbor. I'm going to allow him to speak just for like a quick little intro, but I fell in love with him from the moment I met him, and it was on it was on Halloween, and my friend who's from Chile, I met him at Nespresso. My mom got me one of those machines for Christmas. I get functional Christmas presents. I'm about getting a piece of luggage. Like, I don't need shit. I mean, it's like what you want, what you need. So she got me this like $400 fancy Nespresso machine a few years ago. So I met Felipe, who's from Chile. His father just passed away, unfortunately, from stage 5 cancer. He was battling with it for many years. But Felipe had an event here. He's a surreal artist, like magically, wildly talented, like mind-blowing. His name is VORUNDOR on Instagram. And so we were going to support him, and I ended up just last minute recruiting. It was probably 6 or 8 people just from the city, from New Jersey. Everyone just wanted to go support him who knew him, or just knew me to say, like, let's support an artist, right? And it was literally on Halloween. Do you remember there was that bombing of like a truck downtown? It was it was scary. And we were taking the train from New Jersey. We we live in a small little town that's about 7-8 miles like due west of New York City, where like the Meadowlands is.
What town is it? Oh, yeah.
Cool. And so Jason ended up driving in a mutual friend of ours who I invited. Her name is Echo. She's also a very spiritual person connected to the other side. She's vegan like Jason is. And like I said, I'll allow Jason to share more about his amazing just being and who he is and what he represents and what his purpose is here in this lifetime. But like Jason was the one that drove Echo in because he wanted her to be safe. She drives in the city too. She also like a vegan. They don't drink alcohol. These people are just all about like superfoods and Mother Earth and like just connecting to the other side, being present, being kind, having things come from a place of love. And I met Jason, and so this is literally Halloween. I just have this like black cat suit on. What do they call it? Like there's a term like a play suit or something like that. With Sweaty Betty, I had this really cool like cat suit on. It was a little bit sheer and frisky. And I just wore, like, red lipstick or something like that. But Echo is donned with all these glitter, bedazzled jewels. And I was like, and then you have this Jason Flowers. Who is this tall glass of water? This, like, this presence lights up a room. You look into his eyes, and it's like a portal into, like, his soul and the universe. So I met Jason, and the irony here is because he's a kind soul and wanted to protect a friend and make sure she got safe into the city on a holiday to support. So he didn't know Felipe. He didn't know me. Case in point, Jason's my neighbor. I can look out of my house, and I can throw a stone at Jason's house. He was born and raised. I've lived in this town in my house. It's a mother-daughter house that I've been renting for 7 years. And I could throw a stone, an aqua stone. But so, Jason, please share with the folks here just a little bit about you and your gifts. I think that's something we'd like to just kind of touch upon today.
Oh, yeah.
And we can... in future episodes, maybe delve deeper, but at a high level, just share with the aqua world and the aquaverse who you are and what you represent and what you're kind of honing and cultivating, please.
Okay, well, I'm honored for the chance to speak, but there's one thing I have to say first, and that is if you meet somebody who does what I do and tries to make it about themselves instead of making it themselves about what they do, then it's suggestible that they aren't genuine. This is not glorious work. It's work of ethics. It's work of integrity. It's work of service.
Aqua, amen.
Oh yeah.
Or whoever you believe in.
Yes. So I'm grateful for the chance to promote myself, but I can't make it about promoting myself. It would be against the spirit of what I do. And also, I'm not an expert. I'm learning what I do, and
he's cultivating and honing and refining. But just share with them, Jason, in like a few sentences, like what it is that you're working through and on.
Hey, you took your time speaking. I'm going to take my time speaking too.
That's right. Chirp about it, Jason.
I love you. You're the best.
You too. Okay, so yes. Where was I? What I do? It's a lot less cerebral than it is visceral. I'm very energy sensitive. I can tune into other people's auras and just kind of feel out what they're feeling, what they're going through. It's not just people, it's animals, it's plants. I could pick up like two cans in a supermarket and tell their contents apart just by the energy.
Wow.
He's an empath, people. Google that.
And I was granted some very new abilities very recently. I'm not entirely sure I understand them yet, so I'm a little reluctant to discuss them. But they're very powerful, and they've worked with everybody I've tried them on so far, and there's been nothing but good results. Let's see. I'm certified in Reiki Level 1. It's kind of like hands-on energy healing. I'm the middleman. The energy passes through me.
A proxy.
Goes to the person.
Of sorts.
That's okay.
Offers healing, clarity, consciousness, and I mean, people who do what I do frequently have no idea what amazingness comes of it. Sometimes I've given people readings or work and gotten like maybe disappointed or ugly responses, then called 2 or 3 days later, maybe less, and said, "Oh my God, you were right."
Wow.
These things happen.
Mm-hmm. Do you charge people for what you do?
I may someday. I don't yet, because I consider myself in the learning phase right now, and I'm not only grateful for the chance to practice, but I never, ever, ever want to charge somebody for work that does not serve them.
Gotcha.
I care
It's very
very much
honorable.
about the integrity of what I do.
He's a good man.
He's a good man.
human.
Yeah.
So I want absolute confidence in my abilities before I start charging.
And I can aqua confirm on so many accords and many people in our sphere and in our aqua circle of the aqua squad. Like, man, Jason, your gift, like, he just hugs you, and he's never someone to impede. You know, we're just talking about people in the subway, predators, physically, just, he will never cross a boundary. Anytime, especially if it's a female, it's, do you want a hug? And I say, Jason gives the best aqua hugs in the world. And they're like, what? And then you get a hug from him, and its energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's transferred. This is fundamental science, people. I mean, I'll start to share my story. I went to school for engineering 20 years ago at Stevens Institute of Technology. I love science. I love math. I love just learning. You know, I think it's a very beautiful gift, like, to expand your horizons and to challenge your neurons and stimulate them. Yeah. But my golly gee, Jason, you get a hug from him. I don't care if you're a man, woman, child, a plant. Like, he touches you. It's just at a visceral level, you feel calm. You feel at ease. You feel clarity. You just... I can't explain it.
We need to have Jason on every corner of New York City.
Correct.
Right, yeah,
we gotta
beats a
put
good
you
hug.
in an incubator and clone you. Like,
oh yeah. I think that'll solve a lot of our
aqua
problems.
babies. Hey, my ovaries are getting a little stale and rotten. I'll be 40 next year.
Jason, I think you can solve a lot of our mental issues here in the city. That's happening in the city, you know. What do you think about that, by the way?
Yeah, so Jason, can you please share your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on mental illness in the city and what we're doing, or what's happening and why it's happening, and what we can do to be part of the solution, maybe with education or changing policies, or what are your thoughts on that? Can you share with Chirp About It?
Absolutely. Mental illness of any flavor or any kind, it is more likely to manifest if people are living high-pressure lifestyles. Mm-hmm. People grow up with a lot of anxiety, a lot of expectations, not enough love, and this is how mental illnesses come up.
And Jason can speak intelligently to this based on his family unit and dynamic, and I can as well, with growing up in an addiction-ridden home with alcoholism. It's a disease. It's a family disease, and it's behaviors and actions and words. And it's like learned, right? When you're born into something, like you're born into Scientology, like you're almost like you're in this cult, you're brainwashed. This is all you know, the construct of how you communicate or how you do not, how you numb your feelings. You just hit the bottle, you gamble, you whatever it is, you eat, right? It's a coping mechanism.
It's like racism.
But if you're not feeling your feelings, that's the thing. You have to, and if you're not, this is what I think is it parlays into addictions, and it's sex, it's gambling, it's gaming, it's food, it's you act out in ways that aren't healthy, like because you're not present, you're numbing everything, and whether medication and people addictions at an all-time high. We'll talk about that on another show, but Jason, I mean, I think it's so important what you just shared with the Aquaverse here, and I mean, I hope this starts to resonate with people, and this is a topic of conversation that we can broach. Like, let's talk about it. Chirp about it.
It'll be quick.
Go ahead.
You don't need to be quick.
Another big issue, when you stigmatize mental illness, it makes it harder for mentally ill people to manifest their own beautiful gifts and share them.
Correct.
You're going to be telling these people there's something wrong with you, we got to fix it all the time, or you're not good enough at this, let's put you over here, or something like that. They don't feel special. They don't feel entitled to be themselves and show you what they can do. And, I mean, people with mental illnesses, they frequently compensate in other beautiful ways. I mean, there's some autistic people out there with really beautiful auras if you just soak them up for a little while. And, I mean, maybe they could produce some amazing things if people actually gave them a chance.
Give them the chance.
And Jason, let's just real quick, and then we can another little Aqua country song. Jason, please share with the Aquaverse. You just talked about autism. Can you please share? And this is part of educating and aquaneating. Just how you grew up, your father, and who you are, and what you identify with. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's important to educate and aquanate.
I've been diagnosed with a few things, but I guess one of the more notable things is Asperger's. I'm perpetually socially awkward. I always will be. I don't feel the least bit ashamed of it. Mm-hmm. I'm also remarkably cerebral. I can think very clearly about things most people just can't. And I mean, for all the issues any individual might have with me, I probably have as many issues about them, but I've had
That's Aqua real
they
talk.
have because I deal with it all the time, whereas somebody like me is something they only deal with once in a while. So it's completely unfair, but still I'm very grateful for these lessons because it lets me see through the differences and see the beauty through it.
And so we will discuss high-functioning Asperger's, which is what Jason, these giggles. I love the Aqua giggles. But it's something that is can be a beautiful thing. And my mother was a retired learning disabilities teaching consultant, so my mother's very sensitive to the special needs community. And when she met Jason, he's special. Like you can't, it's undeniable. It's a very beautiful aura and soul and energy, and my mother gets it. Jason, you're just one of the most supportive.
Yeah, he's coming through right here through the phone
like
lines,
non-judgmental. You elevate, you believe, you just everything that you exude and embody, and it's a beautiful thing, and I'm just so grateful. I will be eternally, in this lifetime and through wherever we meet again, Mr. James Flower. So
James,
here we go.
I believe Ian Bamberger has a question for you.
Yeah,
as well.
just one question.
An Aqua question.
An Aqua question. We discussed mental illness. Is addiction mental illness in your opinion? Because I've experienced firsthand, and I know like people who have had addiction in their family. Potentially like you have a few generations of people with chronic alcoholism. Potentially, it comes into the next generation. So, is it mental illness? Is it genetic? Is it a combo of both?
I would call it, and this might be something that we don't think of it in these terms much, but I'd call it more of an emotional illness than a mental one.
Okay.
Addiction is desperation, it's craving, it's want, it's the feeling that you're not adequate unless you have what you want, and you could be perfectly mentally lucid and still be afflicted with this addiction. So it's
Agreed.
More emotional than mental.
Okay.
I agree in having the self-awareness to break the cycle. It's the behaviors, the thoughts, the actions, the words. And I've dated many men, which unfortunately were spitting images of my dad. Very cerebral, super smart engineers, but I was marking the bottle, but they were athletic, they were family oriented, or so I thought. Like the things and qualities and attributes that I saw in my father that I always just wanted to so desperately be daddy's little girl.
Right.
Like I said, we'll talk about this.
So you find you're attracted to these types.
But I have been, and it's sort of like when you have the self awareness to say like, what the aqua fuck am I doing? I deserve healthy. I deserve someone that can communicate.
You do say that. You do
well,
communicate that
I
with
understand
yourself.
it now, but for 20-something years of dating, it was like I was reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
It's destructive and abusive, and you have to break the cycle, and it takes a lot of work. It's not pleasant. It's ugly. It's painful to shed the layers, to peel back the onion, and you have to. And my whole thing, and I was just at the Kripalu Institute in the Berkshires, which is a very beautiful retreat center for healing and just to be grounded and rooted and centered. It started in the 1980s. We'll talk about that another time. But I needed to get away to just recenter, recalibrate. And I had an opportunity to attend a retreat for Rock Your Bliss. And it really was like life-altering, the transformation that occurred there. The energy, the space, the people, the gentleness, the kindness, the love, the openness, the support. It was like a very safe place. And it's been known since the 80s. The Berkshires are just like this a mecca for healing, for like just wellness, health, Reiki, shaman healing, chanting, yoga, kirtan, self-help, just conquering PTSD, things like this. And just increasing your awareness and wanting to understand your life's purpose and meaning and let go of the negativity, the ick, the drama, the pain, the resentment. And I've been doing a lot of work, and it's that family story and history, which I think is a melding of what Jason just said. Sometimes it's genetically predisposed, but it's also like our choice, right? We can choose to flip that switch and say, am I the victim or am I not? What can I learn and extract from these memories and experiences to become an active participant in creating the design, the design of my legacy in this lifetime? Mm-hmm. Is it I'm the victim, or is it from that memory or experience? What can I learn?
Do you think people wake up saying to themselves?
I wish they would all wake up and smell the aqua coffee, but take hits from the aqua gravity bong. But I don't know. Everyone needs medical marijuana licenses, including me.
Okay.
My pop's got one, which is nice.
Does he?
Yeah,
Papa Bear. For my glaucoma.
But wait, let's talk about aqua. Where did this come from? Where's the term?
I'm like, hello, it's like you've got mail. The aqua doorbell, we've got I guess. Let's be cognizant of time. Okay, so we only have...
Hit it.
All right, but I just...
Wait, about 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
Jake, 4?
What?
4. Okay.
Whose favorite number is 4? Let's take an aqua guess.
I don't know. I guess it's mine now.
Born July 4th, one of 4 children. Papa Bear passed away on November 4th. He's watching over us from heaven.
Yeah.
He's here with us. He's watching. And every time I see a ladybug when he passed away, they showed up everywhere, which was so weird. It was in the car, at the beach, on my steering wheel, in the house, in the window. It was like that. And when my grandfather passed away, that's Jaju in Polish, but bunnies were everywhere. So that little necklace I got fixed today at the jeweler. But bunnies, that's Jaju's watching over us.
Yeah.
Papa Bear. And he died at 64. He passed away from MS, undiagnosed for 40 years. He was an alcoholic and he numbed a lot of pain. But so what I want to just share with the world, and we're going to have a little interactive dialogue here because the folks in the room really aren't cognizant of what the story here is. So my name is Jules. That's all you need to know me as. I'm Precious Jewel, little fucking firecracker, born on the 4th of July. I was supposed to be a boy. My mom and dad, all 4 of us were accidents. Lovely. They thought I was going to be a boy. So the hijinks and the hilarity here was like basically they didn't know what to name me. When the doctor came over, it was like, here's the Precious Jewel. And it was like, here's this baby. It's an aqua baby. My mom and dad were like, what in the aqua fuck? Like, maybe the sonogram, like I had my thumb like a little, back in the 70s. I mean, because I was born in 1980, July 4th. There's maybe because technology, maybe it was like a peeper and they thought I was going to be a boy. I don't know. So herein lies just kind of where we're at in the genesis of all this. I've always loved water. It's a Cancer is the zodiac sign. I love being at the beach. The waves are very cathartic, like the rhythm of the ocean. I swam at the Montclair Y competitively all year round since I was a little girl. I've always loved the water. My first job was being a lifeguard, being a swim instructor, private stuff, also in the town. Swimming 2 to 4 hours a day. I mean, I was just an aqua baby. And I'm sharing the fabric and the thread and weaving a little story here for all you aqua folks because it's something that's always resonated with me and with many people in this world. Water, lakes, rivers, the sound of water and a waterfall, sitting by a stream when I was just like in Big Sur and we camped at the river. That was after a couple mudslides. That was interesting. But water, okay? I'm going to just open up this discussion to the current folks here in the room. What do you folks think is one of the leading causes of death amongst children and humans in the world? There's a few things that are really affecting the planet Earth.
What is it?
Okay,
unsafe water?
Everyone's saying safe water. Keep going.
Something, well...
I mean, now I've kind of planted the seed, so let's just...
Oh, we have geez, we have
water.
1 minute.
I
All right, great
say
timing. All right, you know what? Let's just close it out. We'll continue this next week. How about that, Jules?
Aquanate for life. You can go on Instagram and follow us, AQUANATE, the number 4 life. But we're a global solution for a thirsty world, and we're going to help bring clean water, sustainable water to children and humans in this world. We're going to become part of the solution. We're going to educate and Aquanate, so stay tuned.
That's right. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Jason Flowers, for calling in. And,
thanks, James.
You're invited onto the show. I want you on the show, Jason. You're a great man.
No pressure.
Thank
No
you so
pressure.
very much.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. Jules, thank you very much. Ian Bamberger, Jay.
Thank you for the
And, of course,
opportunity.
my audience. Till next week, Chirp About It Live, City World Radio Network, 8
Aqua
p.m.
Chirp.
Let's do it.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous,